My name is Kelly Bowker. I'm a very ordinary woman on a very extraordinary journey.
I've had a concern recently because as this ability that I have been developing has come online, I have realized that a step on to this ability to transmute energy, is that I no longer don't have any fear anymore. They've taken me on a journey of understanding our vulnerability, understanding the need to have a little bit of caution, a little bit of, they used the words with me, common sense. So just to kind of recap a little bit, in my journey, I wouldn't acknowledge in the beginning that there was such a thing as darkness. I just couldn't. I couldn't have been on this journey with that understanding in the beginning, because I had so much Baptist fear within me of being overtaken, of being, the devil taking me, the devil possessing me, all of that stuff from being a kid and going to Sunday school, and then never surrender your mind, never surrender. Well, to meditate, you kind of got to surrender your mind. If you don't surrender your mind, you don't get very far with it, right? So there was a journey that the guides have taken me on to understanding the concept of light and dark. They've taken me to a point. It's not a great point. It's not a real far advanced point. It's the point that I'm at of understanding. And that point for me is, I do understand. The way I talk about it is the way I understand it. I understand that darkness doesn't want to be converted to light. I don't quite understand that, but I know that it's true for me. I know that that's a truth. And that whatever they is, let's just say they, have the ability to do things to confuse us, to put bugs in our brain, to mess up our thinking, to pull the rug out from underneath us, because they don't want us to be the clear beings of light that we have the potential to be. And so they're working to kind of stop the evolution of the shining of the light from the light workers, where the benevolent beings, are working to facilitate us to be able to shine our light and to transmute darkness into light. I couldn't even tiptoe into that understanding for a long time, until I did. They helped me to understand it, and through the understanding of it, they helped me to find my sovereignty. That went hand in hand. I did not have a clear vision of my own sovereignty. I didn't happen on to anybody that was teaching it in that way to help me to understand that we are sovereign beings, and that we are impermeable when we're impermeable, but we are also humans. Remember, we have all of these human components. The human components are vulnerable. The divinity is not. The divinity is supreme. The divinity is sovereign. And our free will and our intention are powerful, and they're sovereign. But this is where we have our Achilles heels. And so on this journey of them helping me to understand that side of it, they used the term common sense practices. They said, Kelly, you wouldn't take your car into a city and get out of it and walk away without locking your car. You're not living in fear that your car is going to be stolen. You're not all scared and nervous that your car is going to be stolen. You just know to lock your car. And it was that energy, that understanding in that way, that helped me to embrace those components of the 6-point meditation. There was that resistive part of me that was like, I don't need protection because I'm all love and light, and nothing of the darkness can get me, and blah, 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 blah. But then they were like, it's common sense practices. And that's when they introduced the 6-point meditation. When I started doing the 6-point meditation routinely, my downloads started to come much quicker and they were much more powerful. And this is when I'm going to bring in the concept of the downloads versus communication. The cool kids refer to, if you get information from across the veil, people call it a download. And I understand why. You reach out into the internet, you hit a button, I'm going to download it onto my computer. I now have this understanding. I understand that. But the newest level of understanding between my guides and me is that we have communication, lots and lots of communication, back and forth. You see it, we're in a group meeting, somebody asks the questions, I say, well, let me see what the guides have to say. I shift, whoosh, we bring through a beautiful wisdom, beautiful, beautiful wisdom. But that beautiful wisdom is within my reach. It's within my antenna, my frequency reach. I'm able, it's within that reach. When I get what I now call a download, it's when they're putting another arch on my Wi-Fi icon. I believe as we travel this road to awakening, our frequency, our base frequency changes, meaning our reach changes. We're going to talk about it in the book club, when they brought through the 4 corners, reaching to the 4 corners, it was the first time that they gave me the feeling like that when I did this, there was a feeling. And instead of it just being like a prayerful, it changed how I felt in working with the energy. When I would sit, and if I'm going to ask a question, it's like I go, and I just reach. I reach for the answer. And they've, over these months, they've shown me the old-fashioned operator plugging in to what beautiful, loving, benevolent being has the answer that is the right frequency for whoever is calling the answer through. And so that's how I understood it, and that's how I've been working with it. So there is it for me now. The way I discuss it in my language with it, I am distinguishing between wisdom, communication. What's the big fancy word for like people who study philosophy? Understanding philosophies, how the world works. These are all communications. Wisdom from non-physical to the greatest degree that I can reach out and bring it through. When I have these energetic downloads, I'm not the same afterwards. And I just really want to share that with you, because I don't think I've heard anyone say that on YouTube. I've never heard it explained. And I'm telling you, in the beginning, it was scary to me, because no one else was lighting the way for this. And so when my body would start to react, like I remember one of the very first ones was the one when they showed me the Tinker Toys way back. It was October. I channeled the first time in January, and it was that October. It was right before Mother Earth spoke to me. And it was terrifying. It was like, I called it the pixie dust. It was like, woof. And when I set up, it was only a couple of minutes. It would have taken me hours to have written the understandings and my new perception of reality that I had from that download. That is an energetic download. That changed my reach. I didn't understand it exactly that way at the time, but it expanded my reach. And we all have a reach. And that's just the truth, according to what I understand. So this journey with understanding, they wanted me particularly, and I would think all of us, so I'm going to share it, to understand, before I had this clarity, I was incredibly vulnerable to the world. I just saw the good in everybody, and I put myself in some really bad situations. Thank God my angels were always working. I think I need to pay Angel Michael time and a half because he's had to get me out of way too many scrapes that I should have been smart enough to not get into on my own, but I was so damn gullible. And they knew that. And they knew that I would push past, and I'm sharing this. My jar is going. I know they want me to share this. So this is for whoever it's for, whoever hears this, that I would push past my gut instinct to help somebody, to be that person who could be the shoulder for them, to go the extra mile for someone. I'd push past my wisdom. And they told me at that time, now we're talking probably, like within my first year, they told me at that time that I needed to be more discerning because there is truly this non-benevolent force out there that can mess with us.
I want to just take a minute and put in an example, just not even a full minute of when a download came in when I did my first retreat on Silver Lake. I had been sitting and channeling for the girls, and all of a sudden something changed. And this is just a little bit of what happened as I was changed, as I got what I would consider a download. So I just wanted to give you an idea of that. In case it ever happens to you, it won't have to feel as scary as it used to feel to me. Now I know I'm fine. I know they are upgrading my body to handle the level of basically the level of energy that will be coming through. I feel like they come into my body and change me, change my ability to understand, and prepare me for the next level of reach.
Okay, so something's happening, guys. Just hold space. So what is this? I'm okay, guys. Don't be scared. This thing, the upgrade.
I know it's not pretty, but it truly is okay. And once it's over, I have abilities and knowings that I didn't have before it began. So I just wanted to share that with all of you.
And that was when I started to practice I could accept it. I could accept it that I was a being of light. I could accept it that they were out there, that it was just common sense. And they used this exact sentence practically. They said, you know that there is bad and evil on your earth, but you turn away from it. It's not part of your existence. I just don't even, this is just how I feel towards it. I just do this. It's not, I'm not going to, I don't want to judge it. I don't want to engage with it. I just turn away from it. And they said, in the same way that you know that that is there, you can know that the non-benevolent energy is also there. And that was a lot for me at that time. But I was able to sink into it. They gave me the experience of waking up in the night and feeling negative energy in my room, and I cast it out. I sent it away. From my place of sovereignty, get to frig out of my room. You are not welcome here. Go away. This was all part of my learning. I learned my sovereignty. I learned that I'm not vulnerable. I have the power, the intentional power over all the energy because I am sovereign in this dimension, in this incarnation. My free will is sovereign. And when I set my intention for love and light is all that is going to be available in that energy. But that doesn't say that our humanity, because so I got to that place, and then they started to take me into that energy. Remember, those of you that have been along this whole journey with me, breathing the darkness in. All of a sudden I had this feeling like I could reach into energetically, not me. When I say I mean them through me. I would be doing my one-to-ones and I would feel like we were reaching in and taking the shadow, taking the darkness out of the person, breathing it into my heart, and I just could love it so completely and so see the perfection in it that it could transmute it. And that was when I understood that I had this ability to transmute energy. That even if that person, we all can do it if we can find ourselves, if we can find our way to that unconditional love and that perspective of perfection of whatever is going on, we have the ability to transform it ourselves in every given moment.
I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. And join me at my next retreat. It's going to be in the UK. I'm so excited. Go to my website, presentmomentmagic.net, for more information. See ya.